We'd learned that Bikini Bottom—
Same thing. As the cop is putting the ticket on my eyeball, the punch going through the ticket, punching him in the face, bro. Why do they be disrespecting Squidward like that? Today is gonna be me, it's gonna be chat, and we are reacting to a video from the one, the only, the homie, Alpha J Show. What happened to Squilliam? Let's figure it out. My diagnosis analysis, times is hard, nigga. He went broke. Like, come on. Times is rough, bro. The Bikini Bottom is down to this last cent, bro. Come on, man. That's what I think, at least. I don't know. Let's find out.
He's essentially been gone for 15 years.
Damn.
Squilliam sparked a huge discussion on Twitter when he surprisingly appeared in a recent SpongeBob episode that made many ask, where did he go? And was his rivalry with Squidward that good? We'll go over that and much more, but
I don't know who ran that Will Stan Yap poll, but I'm locked. Watch me not yap today, bro. I'm locked. Check me out, man. I'm locked.
who is Squilliam, for those who don't remember? Squilliam Fancy Son is many things. Wealthy, arrogant, well-connected, but more importantly to us, he's Squidward's
Glaze.
arrogant, well-connected, but more importantly to us, he's Squidward's arch nemesis, and you couldn't have asked for a better debut episode within SpongeBob. Dare I even say he may have a top 3 best debut episodes within the SpongeBob universe, because his first episode within the show is Band Geeks.
I hear you're playing the cash.
That was his first episode? Oh my gosh! Band Geeks was his first episode? Do y'all not know how legendary Band Geeks was? I didn't know that was his first ep. When they hopped on the stage, hold on, wait, do I still got it? Hold on. When you recall in the hood for the thrill, and that's in the hood. Damn, I don't know the lyrics though. I remember the melody, but I don't remember. Was it Sweet Victory? Is it Sweet? Sweet, sweet victory, yeah. Yeah! Come on! No, y'all know ball knowledge. Y'all help me out with that one. Y'all help me out with that one. Y'all know ball.
Ow, but sometimes. How's the unibrow? It's big and valuable.
An easy favorite, he challenges Squidward to play his so-called band at the Bubble Bowl.
Yeah.
An aspect of their dynamic I wish they—
That's when SpongeBob killed the internet. SpongeBob hit the internet with this shit. Ah, y'all don't know nothing about that, bro.
was this high school glory part. Given Squidward has been directionless artistically and works at a fast food joint, keeping the stark contrast of the trajectories between Squilliam and Squidward post-band class would have been a great source of episodes and comedy. While we know of this goated episode already, tons of great memorable jokes, a nice progression of a bunch of wacky characters being in a band, and a great lead up to the big song.
That's his eager face.
This video will focus on Squilliam's contributions only. He was shocked to see the legendary performance that Squidward's band drummed up, and it seemed things were already looking rough for Squilliam. But don't worry, he'd get another shot when he returns in season 3. But at this point, we start to see cracks in his character.
He said, is mayo an instrument? No, y'all know balls.
It's a fun episode, but would expose a potential problem with his character that we'll get to by the end.
Anyone can be a big shot in a hit town like Bikini Bottom.
That's a fact.
Oh, is that so?
That's what Virginia's like.
Let's hear what you've accomplished since high school, Squiddy.
How about make you faint at the Bubble Bowl? Squidward is up 1 since Squilliam came back into the picture. As much as I love Band Geeks and this episode, what do they do, essentially? Well, we have Squilliam bragging, Squidward pretending to be something that he isn't, Squidward having to figure out a way to sell that illusion, and the result of that illusion. Squidward would have to run around and keep everything together as the—
Nah, genuinely though, I know we're going around on this episode and he's saying what happened in it, but this is genuinely top 5 SpongeBob episodes. This might be top 3 SpongeBob episodes for me ever, bro. I'm not gonna lie, cause this and probably, bro, I just had it. This and when they got the superpowers. This and the superpowers were top 2 episodes for me, bro. The 3rd spot gets a little shaky, I don't know.
collective sanity of the Krusty Krab would hang on by a thread. SpongeBob would have a total meltdown after forgetting everything except fine dining.
Oh, when I rip my pants is a classic. It all started when I ripped my pants. And then I came into the town. Damn, I know the melodies. But be true to yourself. And a fool who. Yo, after the video, because it's going to get copyrighted if I played it in the video, we might have to play them songs, bro. I'm not going to lie, bro.
And breathing, which, if you're breathing manually right now,
Magic Conch
you're
was
welcome.
calm.
Mr. Krabs would be the chef, and
Magic
oh my
Conch
god,
was,
never let this man
yo,
cook.
Okay, you know, Bob. Magic Conch was calm. Damn, and goddamn, hold on. The Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza. Yo, no, when bro came through with the Krusty Krab, yeah. Pizza is the pizza, yeah, for you and me. No, that was, come on, man. Campfire. Damn, I'm not gonna lie, this is actually dummy harder than I thought it was gonna be. That's actually dummy harder than I thought it was gonna be. Yo, I don't know what my top 3 is, bro. Do y'all remember the Stan and Yo-Yo love song? What? Excuse me. What?
Cook again in his life. Squilliam would show up and be surprised.
No, chat. No. We forgot. This kitchen's not the same without you. What? Oh my God. Yo, all of my life. What? No, that was one. That one is one. I forgot. On me, that was one. The best day ever is tough. Damn, cause it's the best day ever. Best day. Dang. Wait. Damn. I'm dirty. Nah, y'all got the classics. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is tough.
How everything turned out. Unlike Band Geeks, this plan goes awry. And as funny as this is, we also have to remember that within Band Geeks, the band trained without Squidward. His training led to 2 people dying. So it only makes sense that his plan here fails too.
The horrible, sad truth is, I'm a cashier too.
Is that true?
Of course not.
That's crazy.
A filthy stinking
That's
rat.
crazy.
As mentioned before, this pattern checks out, and this doesn't bode well for the depth.
Chat moving, no cat. I ain't no chat mess with SpongeBob like that, bro. We might have to do some more SpongeBob content, bro. Because I'm getting excited just thinking about the Bob. I ain't gonna lie. One-on-one, Stanley's beating Thanos. Appreciate that. You already know my body.
Of his character compared to others.
Join
This
the
is
Discord.
season 3, and other characters just had more depth, which made them more fun to see and more adventures in a tentacle measuring contest between Squidward and Squilliam. For context, Plankton would have a time travel episode, and we'd get to see his extended family. Barnacle Boy would turn on Mermaid Man, Mrs. Puff would go to jail, Mr. Krabs would have a midlife crisis, and SpongeBob and Patrick would have a child together. Meanwhile, Squilliam is essentially
I did like
doing
the SpongeBob-
the same episode again. While you'll notice this pattern continuing.
I actually really did like the SpongeBob episode where that nigga Patrick was taking care, or SpongeBob was taking care of the kid, and it was like they were married together and all that. That was also a good episode. Damn, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Next episodes, let's focus more on the rivalry.
Dang,
we go from March 15th, 2002 to June 6th, 2008. We wouldn't hear from Squilliam at all. In season 6, we get the
Squilliam's
polarizing episode House Fancy, which, while it's known for one thing,
I hate that scene. I wish he would have told me. Wait, is it the scene with the couch? It's the scene with the couch. Bro. Frick. I wish he would have told me, bro. I hate that scene, bro. Y'all think I'm joking? I genuinely wish I didn't just see that just now, bro. I hate, bro, I hate that scene, man. Oh my God. But side note, Squilliam has a crazy house, bro. He had the first mansion before niggas had mansions, bro.
would feature the most relaxed appearance from Squilliam so far. Squidward would be jealous that Squilliam is on a show that shows off his house, and he'd claim to have a much fancier house and 2 hours to prepare it as such. So as mentioned before, the pattern is simple. Squilliam bragging about his life, Squidward pretending to have something that he doesn't, Squidward having to find a way to sell that illusion, and we see what that result turns out to be. Well, in the grand scheme of hundreds of SpongeBob episodes, this isn't as repetitive as it seems in this video. When you look at what Squilliam was being written for, it begins to stick out quite quickly.
I'm not quite sure how to say this.
Go ahead, say it.
Squidward Tentacles, you seem to have ushered in an entire new era in house
Glaze.
fanciness.
The fortunate aspect is that Squidward would end up having somehow the fancier home and being named House Fancy Prince of the Year, making the score 2-1. But maybe there was potential in this passive version of Squilliam as we explore the other season 6 episode he was featured in. While up to this point, Squidward would directly challenge Squilliam, this episode changes the dynamic, and that would have disastrous results for Squidward in universe. This is another season 6 episode as mentioned earlier, called Professor Squidward.
Aren't you the esteemed Squilliam Fancyson III, who we all came here to see perform tonight? If you were Squilliam Fancy.
This was the last episode that I remembered Squilliam being a part of. Outside of this, I actually don't remember anything that had to do with Squilliam. Lakers in 5 for sure.
To offer you the high-paying and prestigious opportunity to come there and teach your very own music class.
I'm Squilliam Fancy Son.
You see, Squilliam was going to be offered a job
This
as
was the one time that Squidward really lost my respect. You know what I'm saying? Because I love the game. Don't trip. I love the hustle, okay? Wanting to beat the next man, I'm all about that, bro. I'm okay with that, bro. I like hard work. I like determination. You want to be better than somebody, so go be better than them. I love that. Faking your identity to be the dude you want to be better than and then acting like him, Squidward, you lost me. You know what I'm saying? I would never pretend to be my op just so I could live in his shoes for a day. That's dummy glaze. I'm not going to lie, Squidward. You lost me.
a music professor, but Squidward would
Stanley left a stain in my pants. I'm about to. Yo. Yo-Yo was about to dap me up. Yo-Yo's not dapping me up no more because you said that, bro. And now he's leaving. Yo, drive safe, bro. Love you.
steal his identity to take the job, presumably because he feels like he deserves it more than Squilliam. However, SpongeBob and Patrick would treat him like Squidward, not Squilliam, which leads to his demise.
I don't suppose you two have anything to say for yourselves?
We're sorry, Squidward.
Yeah, we're sorry, Squidward.
No. Shh.
With Squidward arrested for, let me check my notes here, impersonating a genius, that brings the score back to 2-2. You start to notice a pattern. However, these last two episodes set up a confusing end to their rivalry.
This is like kind of how, if you guys know, this is elite ball knowledge if you guys know, but this is kind of how The Rock and Vin Diesel are in Fast and the Furious. Did you know for every single time that they punched each other, they would make sure that the other person had an equal punch in? So if he punches The Rock 3 times in a row, The Rock has to come back and now punch Vin Diesel 3 times in a row. They wrote it into, I think, their contract or something like that. So basically, that's what Squilliam and them is.
This second to last episode in this arc has Squilliam win in the most unexpected way. Within season 7, we get the episode I Heart Dancing, an interesting episode that has Squidward sabotage SpongeBob's chances to perform well.
Hold on, chat. Oh my gosh, there's a nigga on TikTok who be killing us. She be like, chat, you know we gotta do this dance. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, wait. Let me look at the technique.
An interesting episode that has Squidward sabotage SpongeBob's
He push off one foot, boom.
chance
and then he hops
to perform well at a dance recital, presumably because he feels like it is
strut. Okay, it's like that, right? Okay, so oh shit, I can't do the strut because there's not enough space, and then it's come on. I think that was accurate. Hit that shit, Stanley! Appreciate that.
Deserves it more than SpongeBob. Squidward would work SpongeBob to exhaustion and end up stealing his spot for the dance audition, blowing away the casting director enough to be immediately cast for the role.
You will be sorry you made this decision.
I don't think you'll be sorry either, because you'll be dancing in Squilliam's shows.
Considering Squidward's completely shocked and
One thing for sure, Squilliam got motion, man.
submissive expression here, with the fact that I'm sure if he knew beforehand he wouldn't have wanted to dance for Squilliam, I would say this brings the score to 2-3 with Squilliam in the lead. So
Right.
with one last major episode left, either we end this with a tie or Squilliam would have more episodes where he appears victorious than Squidward. The problem is, it's kind of both, depending on who you are. You may see it differently. The last major rivalry episode between the pair would premiere January
I do
2nd,
remember this.
2010. With the most infamous episode to
put
appear
you on
in
the
this
planet?
video. It is the infamous Keep Bikini Bottom Beautiful, a mixed episode that has a share of extremists on both sides due to the persistent
Appreciate
appearance
you,
of a
Obi.
cop character who shows up at the right times to catch someone littering, even in situations where
got
contextually it wasn't that big of a deal as the cop made it out to be.
Let me help you out. There. That should get you started.
Crazy. I'm not gonna lie, bro. As soon as somebody blows their nose, throws it on the ground, as the tissue's falling on the ground, my uppercut is gonna go through the tissue and punch him in the face, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't take that type of disrespect, bro. I can't, bro.
We'd learned that Bikini
Same
Bottom
thing. As the cop is putting the ticket on my eyeball, the punch going through the ticket, punching him in the face, bro. Why do they be disrespecting Squidward like that? Squidward be minding his business, bro. Why do they disrespect him like that, bro? Yo, you're shooting? Yeah, bro. I get it, bro. I don't even blame you, bro.
built a statue of Squilliam in honor of cleaning up Bikini Bottom in a week, to which Squidward would attempt to one-up him by cleaning up Bikini Bottom in a day. He would struggle with this task, and it doesn't help that the cop follows him around wherever he goes.
Crazy.
In order to get rid of all the garbage Squidward collected, SpongeBob would build a statue of Squidward with said garbage, which kind of symbolizes how Bikini Bottom thinks of him. However, this statue would have a huge trick up its sleeve that Squilliam didn't expect.
Yeah.
My glorious statue.
That is kind of a W.
This is your statue?
It was.
Now,
I feel
this
like
is where
that
I
keeps the
get
score
confused,
tied.
so I'm gonna ask you guys. Would you say this is a draw
Yeah.
because everyone pretty much got ticketed here and now they're
Chat, that's a draw. That's a draw. That's a draw. That nigga got made fun of. The trash stinks. He did get a statue. And bro lost his statue, got a ticket. I think that's a draw right there.
Squilliam or Squidward received what they wanted? Or would you say that Squidward wins here because his statue destroyed
Yeah,
Squilliam's
yeah.
statue? So if that's the last episode of the
What's good,
rivalry,
Stanley? What's good,
Squilliam's
bud?
last
Appreciate the
speaking
first time
appearance
chat.
would be the darkest episode yet. This final episode would completely flip how we've seen Squilliam portrayed so far, that it's kind of eerie that it's the last time that we'd hear his voice in the main show. This requires a bit of context to set up. This episode is called Back to the Past, and it premiered February 15th, 2010. While showcasing their locker of memories, Patrick would activate a time machine that brings them back to a semi-old-timey Bikini Bottom, in which Man Ray is shown attempting to take over the world.
Jumpin' jellyfish, Mermaid Man. What happened to the tartar sauce?
Yes, Patrick, the person who brought everyone to Barnacle Boy, are not able to defeat this Man Ray. But even more bizarre, he would have enough brain cells to uncharacteristically freak out and grab SpongeBob and go back to the present timeline after not being able to articulate how he's able to go back into the past in the first place, and that's when everything would change forever.
Well, that's more like it. Back in good old present-day Bikini Bottom.
You can easily connect the dots that Patrick eating the tartar sauce led to Man Ray defeating two sets of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, which led to this dystopian timeline. You may wonder what this episode has to do with anything besides showing how Patrick's characters had quite the history of duds over the decades.
Right.
Well, in this new timeline, everyone is enslaved and indebted to their new ruler, Man Ray. Everyone, including Squilliam.
Hello, Squilliam.
Man Ray is great.
How is he enslaved, but he's the only nigga who still got on a robe? That's glazed. That's so glazed, bro. That's glazed, bro.
Yeah. Must be be taking care of his community service obligations.
With this last line, that would be the last line Squilliam said in this show. This means our last appearance of Squilliam in a SpongeBob episode that featured lines from him would be an episode that showed a dystopian future where even all of his riches and powers couldn't stop him from bowing down to Man Ray. Now naturally, SpongeBob and Patrick would go back to stop this, however the way they do is quite odd. In a big confusing ending, they'd continuously come back to try to stop things that fail because of Patrick's ability to eat things being as overpowered as it is today and hasn't been nerfed for 1.5 decades, and Man Ray would even try to destroy the time machine at some point, but even that doesn't solve the problem as more SpongeBob and Patrick led time machines are still able to come back to this specific point in this timeline, and all of that confuses the Man Ray of this original timeline, as I'd imagine it would to you as I explain it, but they continue to spawn, even spawning in space with a seemingly infinite time loop of SpongeBob and Patrick's coming back to this timeline. Now what does all this mean? Well, I don't know. I'm not a time travel expert.
Did you just waste my time? Did he just waste my time?
In fact, in college, when I had to choose between classes for time travel
Blockstar,
and classes for
appreciate the follow.
short-term memory loss, I took... Wait, what are we talking about again? So we get to our biggest questions here. What was the episode that sparked this viral discussion in the first place?
Yeah.
And is the team intentionally not making plans for Squilliam, or has it just been a giant coincidence? Well, to answer that first question, he appears in several cameos after this, but nothing major. The most recent one at the time of making this video, which sparked this discussion, is Pablum Plankton, an episode that revolves around Plankton being the face of a baby food brand. While Plankton is shopping, we'd see a familiar face in the background.
People usually step on me when I'm shopping.
Aw.
Strange.
It seemed like his rivalry with Squidward was, for the most part, done. And it seems like the crew, despite 15 years of episodes being produced, don't want anything to do with this character. Normally, crew members don't speak up as much about the production of a show, but luckily there is an answer to if the crew has intentionally put Squilliam to the side or if it's a big coincidence. In a hard to find, if not deleted tweet from Vincent Waller, the showrunner of SpongeBob, he directly answered the question of if we were to get Squilliam in seasons 12 or 13. While the allure of developing out Squidward's high school lore, or Squilliam interacting with characters such as Mr. Krabs or SpongeBob more directly do seem like great choices, most of the Squidward-Squilliam episodes largely appear to be the same thing. But I want to hear from you. Do you want to see more Squilliam, or do you think the character has been largely played out? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you want to see more Squidward...
Dang, they got mad at Squilliam for growing up. They don't want to beef no more. They not ops no more. That's okay. Nah, I think actually what it is I think as the story kept going on and the more and more is fleshed out, they ended up wanting to focus more on the main cast. And I feel like because Squidward isn't that much more of a focal point outside of the fact of SpongeBob annoying him, that they don't need other characters to annoy him as well. And that's why I think they haven't brought in Squilliam. But I could be wrong. What do I know? I just make videos on YouTube. If you guys enjoyed the reaction, make sure you like, comment, subscribe down below. If you want more SpongeBob videos, comment twice on this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Type in SXY to find me and Yo-Yo's collab channel. Yes, we could type in SXY now and find the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye. Peace.